Well, good evening to this evening's council meeting. It is Monday, March the 20th. I'm Mayor Ted Schaefer, and with me are my council colleagues. I have Councillor Jack Arnold, Councillor Paul Albrecht, Councillor Rudy Storteboom, Councillor Gail Martin, Councillor Val Vandenbroek, and Councillor Nathan Pahal. And at the staff table, we have Darren Light, our Director of Corporate Services, and we have Deborah Joyal, our Administration Officer this evening, taking all the required minutes. We have Francis Chung, our Chief Administrative Officer, Gerald Minchuk, Director of Development Services and Economic Development, Rick Baumhoff, Director of Engineering, Parks and Environment, and the person taking care of the camera this evening. So the first item we have is the Committee of the Whole. Council will commence a Committee of the Whole which provides Council the opportunity to hear input from the public and allows Council a greater opportunity to speak to and debate specific agenda items. Persons wishing to provide oral or written comments are advised that Council is limited to considering how the development permit guidelines should apply to the property and the project. The land use and density regulations for the property have already been established in the zoning bylaw and are not under consideration as part of the development review process. I need a motion that Council will resolve into Committee of the Whole. Councillor Albrecht, Councillor Storteboom, all those in favour? It's unanimous 4. The development permit application number 03-17 at 20670 Langley Bypass is the applicant this evening, and Andrea Scott, she's the architect for Lovett Scott Architects, to provide an overview of the proposal. And it's all yours.
Thank you. Good evening. We have this existing site at 20672 Langley Bypass, as you can see up on the screen in the red there. It's an existing site with the Lazy Boy, the Visions Electronics, and then a few other smaller tenants, Cora's Restaurant, and I believe there was a Weight Watchers in the back along the southeast of the property. In the northwest corner of the property, directly adjacent to Langley Bypass, we're proposing to build a 7,500 square foot commercial single-story tenant. It is going to be leased for quite a number of years to a private liquor store. These are the renderings of the building. This is the rendering from the interior of the lot. Because of the exposure of the building, we've had to design it to have 4 sides that are quite prevalent. So you can see that this would be the front door with the glazing and the brick porticos. And then the rear along Langley Bypass has a similar fashion with the brick porticos, as well as the glazing to make it look more welcoming along the street. It's 7,500 square feet. We do have 23 parking stalls and 1 loading bay. For the overall site, we have 144 stalls, even with the new building, and that exceeds the requirement of 142 stalls that are required for all the commercial tenants on the site. The building is to be built of hardy panel and brick, with the detailings of the brick, the cladding, and the arched windows to give it a nice touch there. Thank you.
That's your presentation?
Yeah.
Well, okie dokie. I'll ask the administration officers if there's any correspondence at all.
There was not.
None? And same, are there any speakers on the speakers list?
There are not.
None. So I'll just ask any members out there in case there's somebody snuck in, but there haven't. So this is development permit number 03-17. There's no speakers. Committee whole rise and report. So Councillor Storteboom, Councillor Pahal, all those in favor? Thank you. So we'll discuss this. Agenda be adopted as circulated. A mover and second, Councillor Vandenbroek, Councillor Pahal. All those in favor? It's unanimous 4. The next one is the adoption of the minutes, that the minutes of the regular meeting held on March 6, 2017 be adopted as circulated. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Storteboom, Councillor Behal. I thought, Nathan, you did it. I'm looking both ways. Okay, all those in favor? Planning Commission meeting, which was held on March 8, 2017, be adopted as circulated. Councillor Arnold, Councillor Albrecht. All those in favor? It's unanimous 4. Now we have the business arising from the Committee of the Whole. This is development permit number 03-17, 20670 Langley Bypass. That development permit application number 03-17 to accommodate a 7,500 square foot retail warehouse located at 20670 Langley Bypass be approved subject to execution of the development servicing agreement in compliance with the conditions outlined in the Director of Development. Councillor Albrecht, Councillor Storteboom. Is there a discussion? Councillor Albrecht.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to report at the Advisory Planning Commission. This particular application was approved unanimously with no issues or concerns that were noted or subject to change or review. So we look forward to this becoming part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Pahal.
Thank you very much. Just a quick question, I guess, to staff. Is that glazing transparent, or is it just the back, or I guess not transparent?
It's not transparent.
Okay, thank you.
Further? Councillor Storteboom.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to say, I think it's a really great use of space. Thank you for choosing to do business in the city of Langley. I'd be happy to support this application and look forward to maybe a ribbon cutting. Also, a short awareness video about the National Zero Waste Council's National Food Waste Reduction Strategy. Won a silver medal at the international contest at the United Nations Environment Program and the North American Commission for Environmental Cooperation. The video, posted in the Waste Council's website, identifies the scale of food waste in Canada is costing our economy up to $100 billion. That's billion with a B dollars per year. Lastly, Metro Vancouver has launched a new website for those of us who drive or plan to have access to an electric vehicle, otherwise known as an EV. This website is established to identify electric car charging stations throughout the region. Plus, it can help current or future EV owners, strata councils, and property managers walk through the typical steps in getting EV charging installed in their strata buildings. The
for family caregivers who are considering residential care options for a person with dementia. Scary Stories and S'more, Friday, March the 24th at 5:30 till 7:30. You can learn the essential elements of a scary story and practice telling your own. There will be pizza, pop, and of course s'mores, and it's for teens in grades 7 to 10. Secrets of the Garden Design, Saturday, April the 1st from 2 to 3. This workshop is presented by Angelica Headley, and they'll teach you how to design a master garden site plan that avoids problem areas and is specific to your yard. And Hugh Brewster, The Road to Vimy, The Canadians in World War I, April the 6th from 1:30 till 2:30. And then 2 till 3. I'm not sure how that works, but Hugh Brewster, author of At Vimy Ridge, From Vimy to Victory, describes the experience of Canada's soldiers in World War I. It's a perfect way to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge, and it's open to school classes and to the public. And getting closer to Easter, they got the Egg Drop Challenge, Saturday, April the 8th from 1 till 3. Can an egg survive an 8-foot drop? Let your imagination run wild. Make a parachute. Wrap it in a bubble wrap or tissue. Not all eggs will make it. Will yours? And on Thursday, April the 13th from 3 till 3:30, we have an Easter story and egg hunt. A silly Easter story and a very quick egg hunt make for a great break in your afternoon. You can join library staff for this exciting children's event. And the Parent Child Mother Goose, Tuesdays, April the 18th to June the 13th from 10 till 11:30. It's an interactive program where babies 15 months and younger, along with their caregivers, will discover fun with rhymes, songs, and stories. And last, Vegetable Gardens for Beginners, Saturday, April the 22nd from 2 till 3. This introduction to vegetable gardening is designed to make your first steps easier. Presenter Angelica Headley helps you learn how to put it all together without breaking your back or budget. And that's it for the next little while for the library. Lots going on.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. I know with the library this week being spring break, it's extremely busy. And be an interesting time to come and see what's going on. Try out the walking, jogging track, and as Councillor Martin said, come to the library. So the bylaw is bylaw 3016. It's a road closure bylaw. The purpose of the bylaw is to remove the dedication of highway and to close the portion of road 55 square meters adjacent to 20416 Park Avenue, dedicated by Plan 80124, as the city needs to sell the property and the road is no longer required. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Martin, Councillor Vandenbroek. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous 4. Is there any old business, new business, admin reports? Councillor Albrecht's birthday or anything like that? You know, the end of the March? Yeah, it's at the end of the March. Yeah, at the end of March, before we meet again. Yeah, you tried to hide that, eh? Yeah. So, seeing nothing, I need a mover to adjourn. Councillor Vandenbroek, Councillor Martin, all those in favor? Unanimous 4.
14 minutes.